All right, so I usually draw up plays. Up until tonight, I've never drawn up a play that we haven't scored on the scoreboard until tonight. And I drew up a play for us to miss and get an offensive rebound as the time expired. So we screwed it up and scored too early. Obviously, it's and Jug wanted just proud to get out of there with a win. I mean, obviously a difficult game as we talked about. I think it came up in media the other day. Look up and the team's 1-9 and they're good. They got good players. They have good coaches. This league, they're fighting. There's a sense of desperation on their side, and we obviously weren't as sharp as we've been. But sometimes you just got to find a way to be 1 point better. Tonight we were 3 points better, and I'm glad to get out of there with a win and move on. And obviously look forward to getting back to practice. Good gosh, and getting better tomorrow.
You mentioned you just got to find a way to win. You guys shot 22% from three, 58% from the line. How did you find a way to win?
Well, we guarded for the most part, and we rebounded. And that's been a staple of who we are. And the reason that you try to put the emphasis on the defense is because, good gosh, sometimes you're going to have those shoot nights. It's the nature of the game. So we defended for the most part at a pretty high level, and we rebounded the ball, which gave us a chance on a night where, Chris missed a couple wide open ones. Q missed a couple wide opens. Obviously, I think it started playing a little bit on his mind. But just defensive rebounding led the charge for us.
What have you put in perspective what John Michael's doing? In the last game, TCU, he closed strong tonight despite missing some free throws and
Sure.
stuff. Just what have you kind of seen from him lately in his growth and with you guys?
Well, I think part of it is he's comfortable with who he is as a part of this team. And he's been asked to do a little bit more, probably closer to what he's been before he got here. Now, not necessarily having to average 18, but with Avery out, we need him to do a little bit more. And we need everybody. As you see in the stats, everybody, in terms of perimeter guys, Keon played probably more than he's ever played. Chris Harris probably played more than he's played in his career tonight at one time. Nas Brown got a few minutes. So I think John Michael just embracing the sense of more responsibility for his team.
You mentioned Nas. I've got to ask about him. 3 good minutes, the assist. What have you seen from him throughout the year to be able to go him that minute?
He's a good player. He's a kid that works just as hard as everybody else. Obviously, he hasn't been afforded an opportunity in games, but we watch him practice. He has an impact on practice every day. He really has done a really good job in preparation, being that other team's guard a lot of times that we have to prepare for. Obviously, tonight was Harmon. In other games, maybe Coucher or Grant Sherfield. He's really embraced being a leader for our preparation team. And I thought that we may need to steal a few minutes tonight, and I was proud of the way he handled it. I thought he did phenomenal.
I think at the beginning of the year you said that you took Q out because he wasn't shooting whenever he needed to shoot. It seems like that confidence, he missed a couple tonight, but it seems like the confidence is there for him now.
Yeah, you got to grow into a belief in yourself when you play in this league that if you're out there and you're open, you got to live with the results. As long as you put the time in practice, coming back after practice, spending time with our GAs and our managers, that you got to go out there and believe, because otherwise it becomes real psychological if teams don't guard you and now you're still hesitant to shoot. So eventually they'll fall. I wish, because the last couple games it's been his first time down the court touching the ball that he's launched at 3. And I'm trying to get him to understand, allow yourself to get in the flow, get a layup, get to the free throw line, and that'll make that 3-point shot feel a little bit better. So, but it's part of the process with a freshman.
He's had a stretch of getting a couple offensive rebounds, I think 3 tonight, 3 against Ole Miss, 2 against Iowa State. Is it just right place, right time, or does he have a knack for it?
No, really got a great knack for the ball. It's kind of weird when he's got the ball in transition, too, because it always seems like he's about to stop, and he doesn't ever stop. Sometimes I want him to stop, and I want somebody on his team to go get the ball from him, because I worry about what may happen next. But, again, he's got courage that he believes in his own ability to make plays out there. And obviously his role's growing in what we're dealing with right now.
Freshman or sophomore Caleb might have been frustrated by the way he was getting guarded early, but he's able to score 9 points, I think, in the second half. What did you kind of see from him?
I think he was a little bit worried because we knew they would double team him, and they were kind of sitting there waiting. It's kind of the product of how they play defense anyway, but they were especially aware of him when he caught the ball. So I think just the crowd around him made him a little bit less aggressive. But I was certainly glad that he turned it on a little bit in the second half. I was disappointed. His only shot in the first half was the three, basically at the end of the half. So I think he overthought how aggressive they were going to be doubling, because the first time he caught it, they didn't double. He threw it out to Woody for a three. But on a night like that where a kid's been playing well, that doesn't give you his A game to find a way to win, gives you hope that you got something that you can go to when you don't have your best.
Maybe if we could have one last couple questions, just in the interest of saving the headman's voice right here.
It's all good.
First half, and then second half didn't score, but you fed off Caleb too, I think, in that first half, being the part of the way it was. What did you see from
Yeah, they were really conscious in our pick and rolls about not leaving Caleb and Musa. And Bryce got a lot of, drives to the rim and finished well. I asked him what he wanted me to tell you when you guys came in here and asked me about not scoring in the second half, and he didn't give me a good answer, so I don't have one on why he didn't score in the second half. If he made his free throws, that would help, though.
With Avery gone for the season, is tonight a game you talked to Bryce about coming up big with 21 points as a leader moving forward this season?
Well, we don't talk in numbers. We don't know how the game's going to play. But we talked to him about being more aggressive. Avery's leaving 12 points out there in 30 minutes both ways. So, again, 2 or 4 more from him, 2 or 4 more from Caleb or Musa, and now you can figure out how to put it together as a team.
I think somebody had mistakenly asked what it felt like to win 3 Big 12 games in a row when we talked to you earlier in the week. Now that you've done that, what does that feel like to be able to string back-to-back wins together?
Again, this is the first it's even crossed my mind. Seriously, I don't even think in those terms. I swear I don't. Just glad we won tonight. Like, it was a battle. I mean, every single one of these games is a fight, to the end. And tonight we were able to get out of here against a good team. They're going to win more games in our league. They're not going to finish 1-17. I'm pretty confident in that. I'm just glad it wasn't tonight that they got their second. And I look forward to getting back to practice because we got to get better. We weren't as good as we needed to be tonight, but we were good enough to get out of here with a win. You got one more.
O'Banner had 13 in the first half. What adjustments did you guys make on him?
Well, part of the problem is we didn't follow our game plan defensively to start the game. I mean, he makes 2 catch-and-shoot threes. Basically, we didn't guard him. I mean, and he's a really good player. And so that's on me as a coach to make sure they understand the urgency with a guy like that because he could have erupted. He's the type of kid that could get 25 easily, especially if he gets his 3-ball going. But I thought Woody turned it up. Q really guarded him well, and then we were switching and not allowing him as much airspace as the game went on.
Is Chris okay?
Yeah, he just cramped there. And again, part of it is playing more minutes and probably not hydrating as much as he needed to be, but he'll be fine.
John Michael, just kind of take us through that last play there.
Man, Coach drew up a nice play for Bryce to drive, and when he shot it, I saw nobody was really looking at me to go box out or anything. So I kind of read the ball a little bit. I saw I was going to miss towards my direction. I just gave it all I had and just tried to go get it and make a play.
Little time on the clock, people can kind of mess that up. How did you kind of stay cool in the moment there?
Honestly, don't know, man. I just went and didn't think, As if the ball come my way, I'm going to get it and tip it back in. That's all I was thinking. So and I didn't even know I got fouled, honestly, until, I saw everybody stop. But, yeah, I just tried to do what I could for my team to help us win.
You let out a pretty big roar toward the bench after that. What goes through your mind in a moment like that?
It's just, back against the wall, tie game, just being able to make a play like that. You just have to sometimes let out emotions. I had missed about 3 free throws, and I was kind of upset because the free throws I missed would have really put us in position to finish the game off earlier. So once I made the play, it was just picking myself up, because I was down about that. But, I'm glad I was able to do something to help us win.
Is that experience for you that kind of prevails there? I mean, veteran guy in a big situation like this, is that what it is?
Yeah, when I know the time is going down and it's a tie game, I'm not worried about trying to get back on defense or anything because the ball is going to stay on this side. It was 2 seconds left when I touched the ball, so I just knew just go for the rebound. If it comes my way, good. If it doesn't, good. But I was going to go for the ball. I say experience taught me that because I've seen a lot of situations where guys didn't go for it, and the ball landed right in the area that they would have been at, so I just wanted to just try and make a play.
You mentioned that you got upset after missing some free throws. I think at one point early in the second half you missed 2 and then missed a 3, and coach pulled you out of the game and you talked to him for a little bit. How do you stay not upset throughout the game, stay calm and neutral?
Just remembering the work I put in with those shots. I practice those type of shots, and they don't go in all the time. Sometimes it does get frustrating, but I knew I was gonna come back in the game. My team still needed me, so I just couldn't think about the missed shot or the free throw. And Coach Mike and the coaching staff do a good job of keeping us engaged in the game. Just giving us confidence to just make the next one, and that also helps a lot, and my teammates as well.
Bryce, I think you hit your first 9 shots, had 21 points. They're pretty quick. What were you feeling, especially in that first half?
I was just in the rhythm, man. I just saw the first one go in and just kind of just kept going from there. I got to give credit to my teammates, for finding me and, getting me open and stuff. So another one like KB. KB didn't have a great night, but just his presence, alone got me a lot of stuff. So I think, just playing off of each other and just taking what the defense gives you, and that's kind of what I did, and I was able to get into a nice rhythm.
Bryce, obviously, it's unfortunate Avery's gone for the year, but do you think Coach Mike will look to you to step up in these kind of games without Anderson moving forward?
Yes, for sure. I've been playing the point more. I gotta limit my turnovers. I have way too many turnovers, but yeah, Coach Mike has talked to me about that. Since Avery's gone, I'm gonna have to step up and be a little bit more on the ball, a little bit more, as I'll be, usually off the ball, but it's fine with me. Whatever our team needs.
You guys.
What was your view of the last play? Did you see John Michael?
Oh no, I didn't see him until the last second. I was locked in. I got the slide. I got to a nice mid range. Felt good coming off, and then I saw my guy go in there and finish it off. So I was happy.
You guys shot 22% from 3, 58% from the free throw line. How did you win the game?
You just gotta find a way, man. You just gotta find a way at the end of the game to have one more point than they do. That's what Coach always tells us. It was a rough game, like you said. You should name those numbers, but we just found a way. I think that's just where grit and toughness comes in, and making those plays down the stretch that you need to.
You guys got minutes out of Nas and Q off the bench. You talk about Avery being gone. How much is it going to take a village to kind of replace Avery? What do you think of the way you guys did it
Yeah,
tonight?
for sure. It's definitely going to take a village because, Avery was super important to us. But, we have a lot of good players on the bench that can come in and impact the game. That's what you saw today. I got to give a shout out to my guy Nas, man. He does that a lot in practice, what I'm saying? So to see him go out there and, get that assist on a big stage, it was great, man. I was super excited for him, and, hopefully he gets to play some more.
This gives you guys about a 6-game winning streak. How does this roll over into the next game, or even just in practice? Is there a different kind of energy when you guys get on these runs?
We try to stay, humble with it and just remember the big picture. There's still a lot of basketball left, and obviously, yes, winning gives us confidence, but in practice, we have the same message. Just got to keep harping on the fundamentals and keep tightening things up. We didn't play our best basketball today, and we know that as a team. So, luckily, we were able to get the win, but we know moving forward that we have to step it up if we want to accomplish what we want to accomplish. So, winning does help. It gives guys an edge going into next games. It gives us confidence as a team, but we're not going to be satisfied until we get to the end.
John Mike, when was your last game winner?
I think it was my sophomore year. I believe we was playing. I think it was Gardner Webb. I honestly can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it was my sophomore year. No. It was my junior year. We was playing UNC Asheville on family weekend at High Point, and I had shot a 3, but I got fouled, and I made 3 free throws with like 0.3 seconds left, and I made all 3 of them. So yeah.
Bryce, what did you see in the second half that Tech did for you defensively that they didn't do in the second half? In the first half?
They were loaded up a little bit more, especially on the pick and rolls. They would switch it early. Like in the first half, I was able to get downhill on their big man because he was in drop coverage. So that second half, they switched it and just have a guard coming off. So it was just a switch. So I wasn't able to get it downhill as easy. So I think that was probably the main adjustment that they made.
What did they do so well against Caleb?
They were packed in. They were packed into the paint. They had a dude behind them, a dude guarding them, and a dude coming to trap. So that's what I'm saying. Like, KB playing at the level he's been playing at, helped me be able to get shots because they're so focused on him. And now it'll bounce, and then that's how we play off each other.